The assets in billions of dollars of the 4 wealthiest people in a particular country are 35, 29, 27, 10. Assume that samples of size n equals 2 are randomly selected with replacement from this population of 4 values. In part A, it says, after identifying the 16 different possible samples and finding the mean of each sample, construct a table representing the sampling distribution of the sample mean. And in the table, values of the sample mean that are the same have been combined. So what we're going to do is we're going to open our data up in a StatCrunch. Now there's no data here. What we're going to do is we're going to create our sample. So here we see we have 4 numbers. We're going to call the first column x1, call the second column x2. Okay, so if you take a look at the number 35, we're going to have 35 and then another 35 because that represents a sample size of n2. Another one is 35 and the next number, which is 29. Another number is 35 and then 27, 35 and then 10. So that's a sample size of n equals 2 when 35 is listed first with those combinations. Now the next number is 29. So we're going to go to 29 and then 35, 29 and then 29, 29 and then 27, 29 and then 10. Okay. Now the next number is 27. So we got 27 and then 35, 27, 29, 27, and then 27. And the last number is 10. Sorry, we have 27 and then 10. And now we have the last number, which is 10. So you see we have 4. So 10 and then 35, 10, 29, 10, 27, 10, and then 10. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to find the mean of these sample means. Okay, so we want to find the means according to the rows. So we're going to go to Stat, Summary Stat, select Rows. We're going to select both of these columns and then find the mean. And then what we want to do is we want to put this in the table. Okay, so let's go ahead and select Compute. And there is our means. Okay, now what we want to do is we're going to call this, instead of calling it row mean, we're going to call this the mean of the sample means. So means of the sample means. Okay, and so now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and then sort this data. And let's take a look at our table here. It says here is the data that's already listed. So they gave us the values. And so you can see how these numbers are listed in descending order. So what we're going to do is we're going to sort our table in descending order. Okay, so how many 35s do we have? We have 1. Out of how much data do we have, which is 16. So that means that this probability is going to be 1 over 16. Okay, now let's take a look at 32. There are 2 of them. So we're going to go ahead and put that in there. 2 over 16, but we need to simplify this fraction. So when we simplify this, this is actually going to be 1 over 8. Okay, let's take a look at 31. Okay, there's 2 of those. So we have 2 out of 16, which again is the same thing as 1 over 8. 29, there's only 1 of them. So we're going to go ahead and then put that fraction as 1 over 16. 28, there's 2 of those. So again, that would be 2 out of 16, which is the same thing as 1 over 8. Okay, let's take a look at 27. 27, we have 1 of them. So that probability is going to be 1 out of 16. Then there's 22.5, and we have 2 of those. So again, we know that 2 out of 16 is the same thing as 1 out of 8. And then we have 2 19.5s. And again, that's 1 out of 8. And we have 18.5, and there's 2 of those. So we're also going to say that's 1 out of 8. And then there's only 1 10. So we're going to go ahead and then put that as 1 over 16. Okay, now let's check our answer. Okay, therefore our answer is correct. Alright, now it says compare the mean of the population to the mean of the sampling distribution of the sample mean. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to create a column. We want to call that the population mean. Okay, and so we're going to put in our values and say our values are 35, 29, 27, and 10. So let's put that in there. 35, 29, 27, and then 10. And we want to find the population mean for that. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to go to Stat, select Summary Stats, and then go to Columns. We're going to select Population Mean. Okay, and so therefore we're going to go ahead and select Mean, and then we're going to go ahead and then compute that. So compute, and then we get a mean of 22.25. And it says round it to 2 decimal places, so we'll put that in 20.25. Sorry, 25.25. Okay, now let's find the mean of the sample means. So now what we're going to do is, let's go ahead and do the option. We can go to Edit, and then let's also find the mean of the sample means. So we just hit the Control button and then select Compute. And the mean of the sample means is also 25.25. So we would say that the mean of the population is what? We would say that it is equal to the mean of the sample means. Let's check our answer. There's our answer. And now it says what? Do the sample means target the value of the population mean? So in general, do the sample means make good estimates of population means, and why or why not? Well, we would say that the sample means, okay, targets the population mean. So in general, the sample means do make good estimates of population means because the mean is an unbiased estimator.